Welcome to another episode of Successful Living Mindset. And today we're going to focus on avoidant attachment styles in high achieving women. Don't worry, if you're not familiar with what attachment styles is, I'm going to elaborate a little more on these concepts further on. Yet, I just wanted to clarify that even though there are multiple attachment styles, the focus of today's episode is solely on how present is the avoided attachment styles in high achieving women. And let's look at it from a different lens. Typically, people that tend to be high achieving and also have this avoidance style comes off in society as independent, self-sufficient, strong, secure. The problem is the root of things because these traits aren't negative or bad at all on itself. If it's coming from a place of healing, if it's coming from a place of your natural self, then absolutely, yes, be independent, strong, self sufficient, secure. Yet, the difference between one or the other is if it's coming from a place of an avoidance, attachment style, it will hinder your ability to connect in intimate relationships because avoidant attachment styles, that's what they are fearful of at a subconscious level to create connection, to open up. Because what if this person hurts me? Or not only that, what if this person leaves? So before I elaborate a little bit more in the frequency that I've seen in my clients having an avoidant attachment style and also struggling with relationships, let me go ahead and elaborate on what are attachment styles. Think about it this way. People tend to be familiarized with love languages, right? How do we communicate love? And there are five of them. So I'm not going to elaborate on those because those are not the point. So why am I bringing these up? Because attachment styles, it's not love. It's how open am I to trust people to be there for me whenever I most need it? How do I perceive people accepting and embracing me? And typically, attachment styles are most prevalent and present in intimate relationships. Because guess what? It's our source of intimacy, of protection, of belonging. And attachment styles are connected to a feeling of being safe. Is it safe for me to talk and open up to people? Is it safe for me to rely on this person? Is it safe for me to trust that this person will be there when I'm most needed? And that is at its core what attachment styles are. And there are four, but I'm going to go over them in a very brief way because I would like to go back into the presence of avoidance attachment in high achieving women. So one of the attachment styles is secure attachment, right? This is the person who tends to be open to relationships and trust people and know that people can be good and they're worthy of receiving love and they're not fearful of anyone leaving them. And they can spot if there's something that doesn't feel good in a relationship, then they can be honest with themselves and also honest with their partners. And if they have an argument, they're not operating on the fear that the relationship will end. Whereas with the anxious avoidance style, they're constantly preoccupied that if we have an argument, then are you leaving? Are you leaving me? Right? Is it, are you coming back? Is this like, does this means anything for you and me? So typically people that tends to be on the anxious avoidance, sorry, in the anxious attachment style tends to be seen as clingy or needy, but in reality, what they're seeking is confirmation on the sense of safety that I have someone here that I can trust and be open and vulnerable with. But they just like overdo it and they preoccupy themselves a little bit more. When it comes to the avoidance style, is the opposite of the anxious. Is I don't want to open up myself because what if I do and this person ends up leaving me? So they see that as a risk that they're not willing to take. And all of this is happening at a subconscious level and it comes in our life in ways that we can rarely think about. For example, if a person that has an anxious attachment style um is in a relationship and then they have an argument and they're just like, are you okay, are you gonna leave me? And they're just like constantly asking this person like, what does this mean? Are we gonna end a relationship? I don't want you to leave me, I don't want you to leave, period. Or just to take, even to take a break or time out. For an avoidant is at the presence of vulnerability is I'm just gonna shut out, I'm just gonna close up and not open up what I'm feeling because I can take care of myself. I have learned to self soothe, and I'm just like using the parenthesis because it's not really self soothing. It's just like distrust that people genuinely want to be there for you when you most need them. And then there's the disorganized attachment style, which I'm not gonna go over it because I want to go back to that avoidance attachment style that becomes so normalized. And if you find yourself thinking like people are always with drama, and I'm just done with that. I just don't tend to be the sentimental type. Or perhaps if your partner continues to tell you that I'm feeling disconnected and I feel that we're not spending that much time together, or that you don't like think of me as enough as I think of you or take you into considerations, then if this is happening in your relationship, this may be worth looking into. I help my clients identify and increase their awareness into this area that impacts so much relationships. And guess what? Connections are one, if not the most important thing that humans seek. That's what we live for. We're biologically wired to connect. That's how we thrive. That's how we make amazing things happen in our life when we're connected and feel intimate to others. Yet, the person that tends to have an avoidance style is fearful at a root level of this, of opening up. So it's not that they're not seeking connection, they long connection, but because they've normalized so much that they cannot rely on others, they are distant and they feel disconnected and they feel that no one understands them and that they're alone. And they do good while not having anyone around them, right? They thrive. And actually, a lot of people that tend to have an avoidant attachment style that are high achievers find themselves extremely busy because it's convenient and they don't even know that they're doing that on purpose. But they are, because their subconscious is just like making sure that they are so preoccupied with not letting any chance or opportunity to let someone in. Then of course I'm involved in so many different things and I'm doing so many different things at once that I don't have time for a relationship. So if this is you, if anything that I'm saying is resonating, is kind of like hitting home, give yourself the opportunity to look into this, to seek out for help, because at the end, on your loneliness, those are the moments where you actually, your soul, your spirit, your consciousness, your source will speak to you and say that something's missing. Something is missing. And this is for the people that may not be in a relationship, but for those who are in a relationship, it's still then going to impact your relationship and create a disconnect to a point that your partner may feel that why are we here? What are we doing? So what are the steps? What are the things that we can do is this is something that resonates with you. First, increase your awareness. Increase your awareness around it because it's very hard to work with something that you're not even aware of. So look into this topic. There are books, there are mentors, and that is the second step. Look for help. Look for someone that can help you identify those blind spots. It could be through a book, but typically it is through speaking up and sharing situations and relationship issues that another person that has more clarity on this topic can help you identify and pinpoint this particular issues. And that's what I help do my clients because deep down we all long for connection. And A third step, once you get help and you identify someone that can help you work with this, help yourself trust others. Help yourself by reaching out, identifying opportunities where you may be in need of just like talking to someone when you may be experiencing distress, and purposely and intentionally seek out for others to connect, to share. Because even if another person even if they don't have any opinion or anything to provide to you as a recommendation, that's not necessarily always necessary. What it's more powerful is just like having someone there to share, and it's a shared distress. It's way different than just like going through things completely by yourself. So I hope that this is helpful. If you know someone that that you feel like this is this person, please let them know about this episode, share it with them, because that's the intention of these episodes, to help spread knowledge and word that can transform your life and increase the quality of it. I appreciate you tuning in. Please hit subscribe, leave me a comment. I live for comments. I love people's opinions. And if you'd like to hear more about this, also let me know. So until the next time, thank you for tuning in.